The final construction that we're going to do with transformations is the construction of a rotation about a fixed point. In order to do this, you need to have a compass, you need to have a center of rotation, and you need to have a protractor. Today we're going to rotate at a degree measure that's different from what we did when we used our coordinate axes. This is why we need to have the protractor. Otherwise, we can just use formulas and a coordinate plane to help us. So the first thing we're going to do is to create a line segment that goes from the vertex to the point of rotation. So I'm going to put my first point on A and draw a line segment. Now, with the protractor, so we're not using the compass just yet. I'm going to take my protractor. I need to get my center on that point of dilation of the protractor. And then I need to get this line lined up to where my line is. Now, I am slightly off right now. So I'm going to rotate that a little bit further so that that blue line's lined up exactly. And then I'm going to draw a new line segment. This line segment is going to go from the center point through to 40 degrees, like so. If you notice, my compass already had that 40 degrees marked off. Sadly, yours will not. So now that I've done that, I'm going to now take my compass. I'm going to place it at the point of rotation. And I want to line it up so that the pen intersects my vertex A. Exactly, and it does. So now I'm just going to rotate it a little further and draw a hash mark. That new point there is going to be A prime. I'm going to label those at the end though. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate my compass back to its normal position and my protractor too to kind of help us out. And I'm going to draw a new line segment that goes from vertex B now to my center point. Now I'm going to take my compass. I'm going to move it so that the origin's on that point, and I need to get 0 lined up. Now, notice how I just went the other way first. When I'm going counterclockwise, I need to have it lined up so that the angle is to the left of where the vertex is. So that's why I switched it back. So now this is pretty well lined up. And I'm going to draw a line segment. Now notice that the original line segment we drew from vertex A is almost identical to that of what we're drawing now. So that's why I'm using 2 different colors so we can see the differences. Okay, so I have drawn my line and that's lined up pretty darn well. So now I'm going to move this protractor and I'm going to rotate it back. And then from the center point to B, and I'm doing it that way just because it's easier with this program, I'm going to line it up to vertex B. So now that's in the correct position. I'm going to draw a little mark. I'm going to move this protractor down and I'm going to draw a new point. Okay. So that new vertex is going to intersect where I have that A already drawn, but that's okay. And then lastly, we're going to draw a line segment from vertex C to that point of rotation, like so. This one's pretty small, and I'm just going to scoot this over slightly so that it's more so on that vertex. And then again, I'm going to get my compass. I'm going to make sure that 0 lines up with that line segment, so I have to rotate it now. And I have that handy dandy lighter blue line to help me. I'm going to scoot this back just ever so slightly. And we're good. So now I need to draw a new line segment that's going to connect to where that 40 degrees is. So I'm going from the vertice, also known as my point of rotation, and drawing another line segment. That one's right on the money. So now I'm going to move this protractor out of the way. And then from here, I'm going to measure my distance from that point of rotation to vertex C. And I'm pretty good. So now I'm going to do the same thing on this line. From C. And there we go. So now all I have to do is connect and then relabel. All right, so there we go. And then we're going to label. Oopsies. There is my A prime. There is my B prime. And here is my C prime. And we've now rotated a figure 40 degrees counterclockwise.